Hello and welcome back to some more Higurashi. I don't really have anything to say before we start. I think this chapter is really good though. It's definitely like last session was an emotional roller coaster. Like you're kind of fine at the beginning, then it's super sad, then it turns into a meme at the end. Good stuff. It kind of reminded me of or like something like similar to that was the chapter in Watching Higurashi with the Shion is like the real person reveal, where it's like you're having fun at the Angel Cafe, then you have like this super sad moment where Keiichi realizes what he's done wrong with that weird flashback scene that was like not from Keiichi. I don't know. It's kind of a weird perspective scene, and then it turns into memes. But yeah, I don't know which one was sadder, but I was almost tearing up. It was pretty intense. Oh, and then the the speech. I don't know how other people feel about that speech, but it was, to me it felt kind of cringy. Not in a bad way. Like I don't know. It's just such a tone shift where it was kind of off-putting, and it sounded like when Keiichi was like, "I transcended," and it's like, "Oh, I reconstructed his house in my head, then I calculated the algorithm of the neighbors." I was like, "Is this for real?" But I guess it is something like a 15-year-old or what, however old Keiichi is. I should know his age by now. But yeah, I think it's like 15. I feel like that's something he would say, I guess, IRL. So it's not that bad. And it's said it before, it's kind of reminiscent of an Umineko where Battler like makes a comeback or whatever, but it's like, it's a little more. It doesn't feel as cool as it did in Umineko. But I mean, if it's his first time doing this kind of thing, I guess it's alright. But yeah, it's a really good chapter. Probably like the best one so far in this arc. But yeah, this reading session should be good. It might be a little awkward since we left. Well, I had to leave. But we left off here. Like, so this is the third video for one chapter. I mean, it works out if it's super long, then we can like finish off at the hints. But it might be we finish off this chapter, do the hints, and then the next chapter has to be Watching Higurashi because that's tomorrow. So maybe we can leave off before the festival starts. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I guess I don't know what's gonna happen. I guess it'll be different than this year because Keiichi's gonna try to kill the uncle. So he might not even go to Watching Higurashi. I guess he wouldn't, or he'd be late because he'd probably go try to kill the uncle. While everyone else is at the Watching Higurashi if he stays home, which I think might happen. But anyways, let's just get this started. Keiichi-kun, are you or wait, yeah, why am I reading that? Rena, Mian, and Rita-chan were looking after me. Had I fallen to the floor? Oh, sorry about that, Rena. I transcended and left my body. You're moaning while transcending.
うるさい。
Ooh.
黄色い声で話しかけるな。
Honestly, I feel like it's fine to say that to Rena. She's been snapping at Keiichi for this whole chapter. Take a bit of it's almost, I don't know how to describe it. If it's, I don't feel bad about it. My friends gave a start and backed away.
なんだよ。
Rena and the others, they exchanged glances, unsure of what to say, and stood confused for a few moments.
の圭一くんの声。
Sounded like it. Oh. Where is it?
うるさい。黄色い声で話しかけるな。なんだよ。
Yeah. It's just aggressive.
当たり前だろ。
Usually he's a bit more docile, I guess. I mean, I guess when he's angry, he gets kind of high-pitched. Ren adult firmly and opened her mouth.
今一瞬圭一くんすごい目だった。
Oh wow, that's relatable. I mean, Rena's been doing that, like, did that twice. Scary eyes and shouting.
目
Ooh, maybe we're going... I mean, I guess that'd be an interesting take where Keiichi kind of goes crazy. That'd be fun.
光の角度でそう見えたんだろ。バカバカしい。
Sorry, Rena, we're transcended.
見間違いじゃないよ。
We are a different person right now.
あんな目初めて見た。
I mean, if they're dead fish eyes, we've seen them plenty. What are these guys talking about? They've all been too scared of me lately.
前原圭一くんだよね。
I mean, I keep commenting, but it feels really weird that they're saying this when Keiichi's been, like, on the receiving end of personalities taking 180s throughout the arts. What was Rena saying? Who else do I look like except Keiichi Maibara? The look I gave her seemed to speak quite eloquently to those irritated thoughts. She understood and quickly apologized.
ごめん。気にしないでね。
Is this the chapter end? Did we leave? Frick. There's only 5 minutes. I mean, I had to leave. Well, that's interesting. Like I said, if it's a Keiichi going crazy thing. I mean, I guess Keiichi goes crazy, like, in the first one, too. Achievement unlocked, 1500 seconds. Wonder what that reference to. Is that the time of Satoko's breakdown, or is that part of Keiichi's, Okay, I'll stop joking about him transcending. It's so funny to me. So we got 2 notebooks, or I guess that's a folder. Actually, they look the same. Which, these things are usually better. I mean, the cutscene ones are a little more fun, but these ones usually give the information we need. June 18th, 1983. Abuse issues regarding Satoko Hojo. Urgent. We propose that Satoko Hojo must be taken into immediate custody based on the items below. Family situation. Life with the adoptive father who recently returned to Hinamizawa has already turned disastrous, and she is currently subject to unendurable physical and mental abuse from the father. 2. Child Consultation Center's response. A child probation officer was dispatched yesterday on the 17th from the prefecture welfare office, but because of the 77 case, changed to continue coaching and cautionary action. Unfortunately, the consultation office head does not properly understand the situation. 3. Status of the concerned child. I think this is Chi typing this out. Child has already appeared to be suffering from an outbreak of something close to neurosis or manic depression. If her unstable pubescent mind is negatively stimulated by stress, it will put her development of a healthy body and mind at risk. This cannot be allowed to continue from a humane standpoint. For allegations made to the family court, we propose, based on the above items, that Satoko Hojo should immediately be taken into protective custody. She should be secured temporarily under emergency allegations to the family court under Article 28. We request emergency coordination between all related agencies. Well, that kind of sounds like lawyer talk too. But I think it's Chi, right? Chia, because who else knows that? Unless it's like a Sonozaki lawyer or something. So at least they're taking action, but it might have a bump in the road if Keiichi actually goes and, well, at least tries to kill the uncle. D23, number 44. Maybe it's Toko's case or something. Futujisho D2-3, number 44. 1977. Child name Satoto Hojo, Blanky Road. Residence Hinamizawa Village, Shishibone. Consultation circumstances. Telephone SOS from child of child abuse. Abuse situation. Child claims she's being physically abused by her adoptive father. Family structure that marks abusers. Adoptive father, real mother, older brother, child in question. Note, adoptive father and real mother entered family registry in 19. The child is the daughter of the mother's previous husband. Child Consultation Center's response. On the day of the child's telephone consultation, the center called the child's stool and asked of her situation. On that day, the child welfare officer on duty visited the child's house and conducted an interview. The adoptive father sincerely listened to instructions and agreed to take child-raising workshops in the city from now on. As part of the suggested coaching, the center will continue to observe the situation. Other notes, as a result of numerous counseling sessions at the city's education consultation office regarding the child, we learned that there's a high possibility the cause of the child's excessive distrust towards her adoptive father was the result of a lack of communication. The abuse she claimed hasn't actually taken place. She made a false report to distance herself from her adoptive father. Below is a note written in pencil by the person on duty at the time. The problem appeared to be more with the daughter. Chief Investigator F of the city's education consultation office said that most of her stories of abuse were likely fabrications. They decided to shift the focus of their coaching to the child. Be cautious not to take everything the child says as truth. Well, there you go. I guess since we're too helpful, it's something we know that at least somebody's trying to do something. Probably very realistic since that was his job before. Or, well, I don't know. I don't remember. Something like that, right? It's probably what a real report looks like. Anyways, I guess we're continuing right on. That didn't last long at all. Watanadashi Day. Mian and the others. Oh wait, no. Watanadashi. Was it tonight or today? I forgot. I guess it's tonight. Anyways, we'll probably dive into the Watanadashi this episode. Mian and the others, having set up the Watanadashi festival or something, invited me along, but I refused. Well, we're skipping it. Of course I did, because we're transcended and we're gonna go kill someone. But wait, okay, I'll stop. It's just hard not to stop. How could they be taking it easy and setting up for a festival in this situation? Mian had a lot of nerve. The first thing I did when I got back was take a shower. Not because I wanted to wash off sweat, it was because I wanted to be even calmer. I already understood this, but killing that man would be so very easy. The really hard thing was not getting arrested for it, so we could get our peaceful days back. As I thought about it, I realized it wasn't easy. Japan's police force have the highest arrest rate in the world. I mean, I doubt Keiichi probably knew that. But, yeah. I mean, I can believe it, I guess. I would need to deceitfully pull off the perfect crime, and it couldn't be a half-hearted attempt. Still, it wasn't 100%. Even the best police force in the world couldn't have a 100% arrest rate. I've read a lot of articles on trials with people brought up on false charges. They do a lot to determine whether they really were false accusations, but figuring out who the real criminal is usually out of the question. And that meant perfect crimes exist. In fact, perfect crimes were sort of like a work of art. They could even be respected and revered. You just have to look at the inundation. Inundation. I'm gonna doodle that. It's been a while since I doodled a word. It's good to know. Inundation. Inundation, an overwhelming abundance of people or things. Flooding. Wait, did I spell it wrong? Inundation. Oh, the overwhelming. Yeah, okay, never mind. Overwhelming abundance of mystery novels. I get it. Everywhere throughout history. They dealt with all sorts of difficult to solve incidents involving secret rooms and alibis and stuff, but they all wanted to show one thing. They wanted to show the beauty of a perfect crime. There was something divine in the flawlessness of the word perfect. Yes, perfect crimes were stills of gods. And in this case, the serial freakess that they were calling the curse of Oyashiro-sama, I understood. They must have been the works of gods. Each one appeared to have been resolved, but they couldn't stop it from happening every year. Yeah, skills belonging only to gods. Those are perfect crimes. And I would be setting up my own crime before Oyashiro-sama's series of perfect crimes 4 years in the running. If I were to put it boldly, I was challenging a god. Yeah, kinda. Foolhardiness would be needed to make the decision, but I needed to be calm, cool, colder than ice to put that plan together. Kill him like a flame, but as systematic as ice. Starting now, I need to retain both of those ideas within me. Okay, it's not as bad as the, I don't know. It's gonna take a bit to get used to transcending Keiichi. It just feels so different from everything else in Higurashi so far. Modeling my crime after a mystery novel wasn't actually a bad thing to focus on. Sometimes kidnappings involved disturbing, original methods that made it into the newspaper were used as a basis for novels after the person was arrested. Stuff like that made into the news. Sorry, I had to cough. Day and night for a very long time, mystery novel authors polished and refined their most fantastic artistic crimes. Imitating that could be a shortcut to planning the perfect crime in a short period of time. Of course, I haven't read enough mystery novels to act all high and mighty about them. The ones who really like mystery novels was my mom. Oh yeah! Wasn't there something in Umineko where Keiichi's, I think someone quoted Keiichi's mom, or like the protagonist, well, he said the protagonist's mom. I forgot what the quote was, but that popped up in my mind. She's read every well-known mystery novel from overseas, from past and present. Every time she watched mystery shows, she would always criticize them as having cheap tricks or being poorly thought out. I wonder what the perfect crime would mean to her. What would the perfect crime mean to me? I guess a perfect crime would be to... Well, I guess if you make it look like an accident, like they're doing for the curse, that could also be a perfect crime. Or if the... What is a perfect crime? I mean, I guess the result of a perfect crime would be to never find the culprit, but I guess if you take it further, it would be, you would think it would be resolved. So there's never like a looming suspicion or someone like randomly picks it up again to try to solve it, but so it'd be to have like a perfect alibi but still kill the culprit. Or at least make it look like you have a perfect alibi. Or I guess you can just not have a body. I mean, that it would turn into like a missing person case, and if they never find the body, then they can't really like... But I mean, if you do have... I mean, no, they can still arrest you probably. If they, even if they're missing, they can probably like deduce who would be able to do that. But I guess it'd be harder since to do. I guess those are kind of perfect-ish crimes. I guess he's gonna go ask his mom.
これまでの推理小説の中で母さんが一番よくできたと思った完全犯罪
I mean, the thing is, even if he gets all these ideas, he has to do the like I don't know, is it watching Higurashi tonight or is it tomorrow? But he has like a very limited. Oh, I just remembered what the 1500 seconds was. It was Keiichi was during his monologue. He's like, I could kill you in 1500 seconds if I wanted to, or something like that. But yeah, Keiichi only has a really small window to pull this off, so I doubt he'll be able to like do it perfectly. What would I do if I was in Keiichi's situation and trying to kill the uncle? I think that's good to think of before Keiichi does it. So the uncle does gamble a lot, so hopefully he doesn't have friends over at his house or probably screwed. I mean, I think stabbing's easier than actually I don't know. Either I mean he's probably gonna kill him with a baseball bat, but I think stabbing would also be fine. So we kill the person in the house. I mean, it also, if possible, it'd be good to like knock him out and kill him somewhere else. But I don't know if Keiichi can drag the guy. Probably not. What do we do with the body? I mean, I don't. A good place to hide the body. Actually, so if Keiichi goes for like making the person hidden, I mean, there's a lot of places. I don't know how far the swamp is. He probably can't drag it too far. So maybe you don't hide the body, or you hide it like in the house. But how would he play it off if he just kills the person, leaves the body there? I mean, he'd need like a partner to like prove his alibi or something. I don't know. What would I do? I mean, I actually want to figure this out now that I asked the question. If possible, I think hiding the body and trying to keep it hidden might be better than trying to pull off it's impossible for me to do it since I have a rock solid alibi sort of thing, or framing someone else, because you probably need like someone else to aid you with that. So if Keiichi can somehow move the body wherever he wants, I mean, you can probably put it at the garbage dump, though it might not be a good idea since Rena's just scrounging around there randomly. The swamp something. Or I don't know, just do something with the body, because like if you just leave it there, there's probably too much evidence for Keiichi to dodge, because I doubt he'd be able to clean it all up as a kid. So I think he'll kill him, and I think he'll try to hide him where someone would never look. I mean, it's kind of hard because all the places we know are places we've looked at, except for this. I mean, Keiichi wouldn't know about the swamp in this one. Maybe you don't go for the hiding thing. It might be too hard. So you kill him. I mean, we know that he's abusive. He's always drunk. You can kind of frame it on one of his friends somehow. I don't know. Okay, I'm stuck, I guess. I can think of ways, but I don't know if Keiichi would be able to do them. That's the harder part. Let's see what Keiichi's mom thinks a perfect crime is.
母さんって結構たくさん推理小説を読んでるでしょ。そういうの詳しいかなって思って。
それを読むから楽しいのよ。初めからトリックを教えちゃったら楽しみがなくなっちゃうわ。
It wasn't like I was asking for my own amusement. She was deflecting the question, so I would somehow butter her up first and draw out an answer.
そうね。 よくできた推理小説。
I haven't read enough mystery novels. I read like, besides Umineko, I read one from a famous author who I don't remember. I think it was a female. Then I read like two Agatha Christie books. Or I guess three. I didn't finish one of them. I mean, there's some weird stuff to do, I guess. I don't know.
結構どれもこれもいろんな魅力があって、どれが面白かったとは言いにくいけど、強いてあげれば。
You know what? I don't think we'll get to the murder or the attempted murder this session. So by next session, I'll try to at least have a decent answer for how Keiichi should kill him if I was him.
母さんの好きな小説のタイトルが知りたいんじゃないよ。母さんが一番舌を巻いた完全トリックが知りたいんだよ。
Well, let's hope this doesn't, like, whatever Keiichi does, the trick doesn't get published or his mom's gonna know about it.
本当に完全なトリックだったら名探偵に解く余地がないじゃない。
Yeah. That was true. Then there'd be no point.
推理小説は解ける謎をいかに解くかの過程を楽しむものよ。解けない謎だったらそれは推理小説の題材になりえないわね。
そっか、そりゃそうだよな。主人公に解けなかったらお話として成立しないもんな。
I mean, it can still be a good story. I mean, take Higurashi. It's not like Keiichi really solved anything in Anatatashi, but it was still entertaining. Was I being too simplistic? I mean, I mean, finding a way through a mystery novel, it's hard because they do solve it at the end, but it's like if you do the thing in real life, it might not be solvable by police. Because so like usually the detectives are pretty smart in mystery novels. Anyways, I don't know. They're written so that you can't get to the doll, so that you. No, they were written so you can get to the dolls so that you could solve them. But I couldn't use something so optimistic. It needed to be all and all of tricks that we could, without a doubt, return to our old lives.
ということは圭一、真の完全犯罪は物語にすらならないというのがわかるかしら？
Mom looked at me intellectually and grinned impishly. I was trying to say she sounds pretty happy. Good for her. I mean, more happy than we've seen her before. I never got in to read it, but apparently one time, a long time ago, Mom had written her own mystery novel and submitted it for some mystery novel award. Apparently she was really into it. Don't even become stories. What does that mean? Because they can't solve it.
圭一、物語の最低構成要素
Or it
は
might be you just never find the corpse, but that's still like finding a missing person.
起承転結。
What if there's no beginning? I think that's what she's going for. Or end. I mean, I guess beginning, because then you can't write the middle or end.
正解。特に肝心なのは当たり前だけど、木に当たる部分よ。スタートの木がなかったら、そもそも物語は始まらない。
That's cute. I like that.
そりゃそうだよ。何も起こらなかったら何も始まらない。
So you have to make it so... Okay, oh, I got it. So you have to make the person disappear, but you have to make it seem like they were never murdered. So if Keiichi can somehow kill the person, hide the body, and make it look like he left the house willingly, then that would be like the perfect crime for this scenario, because we already know that the uncles abandoned Satoko once. It wouldn't be a surprise if he did it again. And like nobody really cares about him, so at least the villagers not gonna like suspect anything. So I think that's the structure Keiichi needs to go for. And I'm sure he'll get to that realization. So yeah, kill, hide the body, and make it look like he was never killed to begin with. I guess that would be the perfect crime, because then no one would ever start investigating. There we go. Thank you, Keiichi's mom. I think it's still weird that they haven't given the mom and dad names. They probably should. It's kind of weird just calling her Teichi, his mom.
そう何も起こらないから事件にもならない
Yeah.
探偵も呼ばれないから推理もない
But you can't just kill and hide the body without doing any prep, because if the person's missing, there still would be an investigation. But if you like set up a situation where it clearly shows that while the person's missing, what they did, like if you like ran off, then it would, I mean, I guess there'd still technically be an investigation, but it would be cut off pretty. No, I guess then that's not what she's talking about. How would you do that though? I mean, you could do it with a way to do it with a single person household would be like kill the person and then pay the bills so no one notices unless they're like really social. Then I don't know. It's a really hard thing to pull off. Let's see how Teichi's transcended form thinks of how to do this. I still think making him look like he ran away would be the best, since it's like a pattern he's done in the past.
推理がないなら解決もないつまりこれが究極の完全犯罪
It made sense though. It's just really, I think it's harder to do.
ちょっと待ってもう一度説明してくれるかな
My mom just told me something absurd, and she was saying it so smoothly too, so I kind of tuned her out, but she said something extremely important just
そ
now.
んな難しい話じゃないわよそもそも事件が発覚しなければいいだけの話
Yeah. But you just can't hide the body though, because then there still will be an incident. So it's I mean, I guess it is. I mean, hiding the body is important because you don't want anyone to find it, so I guess the killing's the one thing that's not. It's actually probably the least important part. The hiding and the setup for the explanation are they really important though? Which, you know, maybe I'm not giving Teichi enough credit, but I don't know if he'll be able to pull that off, but
そもそ
he
も
could have tried.
発覚しない事件
つまり例えばよ誰も立ち入らない深い森の奥でそのおじいさんがある日斧で殺されましたちなみに犯人はじゃあおじいさんの息子ねおじいさんの家に来て一緒にお酒を飲んでいたんだけどちょっと喧嘩になって殺してしまった
What an extremely cheap plot. It was an impulsive crime without a bit of planning. It was pretty far from a perfect crime.
でも圭一そこはとても深い森の中の一軒家なの普段は絶対に誰も訪れない深い山奥の深い森の中
Yeah, but I mean that's assuming that the guy doesn't have any like. I mean, I guess if he lives in a forest, he's not probably paying taxes. But if he has like no other connections, right? And it wouldn't really work in this situation since he does still live in a tiny village.
さて殺した息子は町に帰ってきておじいさんは元気だった
それのどこが完全犯罪なの
圭一この事件はねおじいさんが殺されているのが見つかって初めて木を迎えるのよ
I think it's a good crime, but I feel like there's a possibility that it would be found out. It might be like a couple years in the future or something when someone just stumbles by, but I don't think it's perfect enough. No. I mean, it could be a perfect crime. He kills if he hides the body. If he can hide the body really well, then even if people go, they could just say that he's out, or if he just moves, or like even if he goes. I don't know. It's a good idea for the perfect crime, and I agree with it, but it's really hard to pull off because if the person's missing, then they're still gonna start a case, and I think that's really hard to do.
もしもこの後 誰もおじいさんの家を訪れなかった
But
ら
in this basic
永久に
situation,
木は訪
sure.
れない。
I think I'm thinking too hard about it. Like, what if some outsiders traveling go into it? And what if someone just stumbles by and finds his dead body? That's a lot of what ifs, but in theory, if you make it pretty simple, it'll work out. And since this is a story, we don't have to think of since this is a story, we don't have to think of the nitty gritty. What if some random person finds it, right? We need to think of the main characters. We gotta think of the Uishis and I guess the Tokos. Like, I guess they are like the ones. If I had to guess, if anyone's gonna find it out, it might be Satoko, who might like not like Keiichi for doing that. There's also the possibility of Uishi. I think those are the two most likely people to find out about it, right? And who would actually care. I don't know if Mion would care. Or, I mean, Mion and Rena would care, but like, I don't know. I don't think it's as important. I'm stalling too. I mean, it's not stalling. I'm talking about it too much, but I think you get the idea. I get the idea. Let's get. I want to see the Keiichi planning stage for this crime, though. The beginning would never occur.
だからつまり物語は始まらない。事件が発覚しないから探偵も呼ばれない。そもそも誰も不審に思わないから謎も起こらない。おじいさんは今日も一人でのんびり森の奥で暮らしているんだろうね。で、お空におじいさんの顔が浮かんで、ジエンド。どう？こんな感じで。
すごいじゃないか。それちゃんとしたトリックだよ。
How will you do it,
でも
Keiichi,
娯楽小説にはならないわね。推理小説は所詮娯楽書。完全犯罪の指南書にはなり得ないんだから。
I was trying hard to talk cheerfully to fool her, but inside I was excited. Special tools, strange geography, mysterious drugs, traps involving huge sums of cash. None of them were needed for crimes. Nice. I mean, aren't those are literally all part of the past arts. I mean, the strange geography would be pretty good though, to hide the body. Like, Keiichi obviously can't just copy it, because once Satoko lives there, and who knows, I don't think she would go with the plan. And two, it's still a house, he probably pays bills. Also, traps involving huge sums of cash. I know this doesn't sound like it's part of the art, so maybe this is a hint that there was huge sums of cash involved in one of them. I don't know. Just a jab in the wind. The important thing was that there wasn't a beginning. As long as the incident didn't come to light, it would be fine. Speaking broadly, if I could kill him without anyone finding out, and dispose of the corpse somewhere no one could find, it would basically already be a perfect crime. But people would look for him, so then it's not a perfect crime. I don't know, I still like my idea of killing, hiding, then somehow making it look like he moved away somewhere. I guess it is just impossible to do it without some sort of investigation, but I guess what Keiichi, what the mom's saying, at least it wouldn't be a murder or a killing investigation, and they probably wouldn't have like the really good detectives on it. They'd have like some guys just looking around or something like that, right? Of course, if someone up and vanished one day, all of a sudden people would get suspicious, but that didn't apply to this man. Yeah, Keiichi knows. Okay, so maybe Keiichi won't even prep it anyways, just because of the past incident that he ran away, so he doesn't need the setup. Makes sense, I guess, though I think it wouldn't work well with Uishi's is a pretty sharp person, so he might be able to catch this. Last year, after their aunt died, he ran away from the village in fear of Oyashiro-sama. When the night of the Watchnagashi came around again, everyone would have to think that he ran away in fear again. I hope he does a little bit of prep though, just a little something to show that he left. I think it would really help his plan. I mean, he had been living with a lover of his own in town. No matter what it felt like, when he vanished, no one would be suspicious. People hated him after all. No one would care where he went if he disappeared. When I thought about it like that, it got easier and easier to imagine killing him. We also have to ask the question if Keiichi can actually do this. Like, I'm sure he might go and like attempt to kill him, but if he would, I mean, even if he has all this determination, I imagine actually going for the kill is a pretty hard thing to do, especially for Keiichi, who kind of has a fragile mind. I mean, maybe not. I mean, this is transcended Keiichi. Can't underestimate him now. There's no point in thinking inside my house anymore. Well, thanks, Mom. I left getting my bike out of the garage. For now, it didn't matter where I was going. I just rode through the wind, trying to calm my excitement by feeding the cool air on my body. Where I'd kill him, how I'd do it, what time, and how to dispose of the corpse. I mean, it'd be really good if he can somehow lure... I didn't even think of that. He should probably try to lure the uncle out. Maybe, like, say that he's Satoko's friend and something happened and we need to go to the Watanashi festival, and then you can, like, push him into a ditch or whatever while walking there and kill him. That would be good. Oops. BRB. Sorry. Background noise. You might hear a couple bumps or whatever. Try to ignore it. Where I'd kill him, how I'd do it. I think that's like the least... I mean, I guess he's a big adult. You can't just go up to him and try to stab him. Definitely have to do it by surprise, but I think it would be easy to just surprise him since he's probably gonna be drunk. What time at night during the Watanashi? Actually, I don't know. If you could kill him really early during the Watanashi, then maybe it might be... I guess it doesn't matter if we're going for... It'd be good to have a really good alibi, but it might be too hard to do. And how to dispose of the corpse, which is really important. If I just had those 4 things, I could get a good plan going. I was so surprised at how little there was to decide that I shivered. I'd been completely prepared to build this humongous plan over a really long period of time. But if I could just get these little things in order, I could put it in motion. Today was Saturday. I would have to kill him on the night of the Watanashi. Okay, so Watanashi is tomorrow. I keep saying we're gonna get to the Watanashi thing, but they're really, like, dragging it out before it actually happens. But it doesn't make sense since Watanadashi's, instead of just a midway point to show that things are gonna start getting crazy, which I still think is, whatever happens, it'll still probably get crazy after the Watanashi, but it's also gonna be like a really big thing for Keiichi. I only had 24 hours remaining. Satoko, just hang on for 24 more hours. I can't even imagine having to suffer through even more, but please hold out for a little longer. I know you can't even last another second, I know that, but please, just hold out. Your Nini will save you for sure. Beep. Okay, I think I'm actually gonna end it here, even though I made that cut. Just cause, like, there's probably gonna be noise in the background, and I don't want to bother you. I think we're at a good part. So next time we're gonna have Keiichi doing some planning, and he'll probably execute it during the next chapter. So that's exciting. Yeah, this has been a good start. I'm getting excited thinking about it too. So hopefully you enjoyed. I enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Like I said, I'm trying to put out more videos more often. Like, I'll try to aim for like 2 a week. I think that's a good number, a reasonable number to try to pull off, but we'll see. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching, and I hopefully will see you again later. Bye.